Timberwolves don't quite play meaningful basketball yet, but they do play basketball. At the time of posting this, it's going to be Friday. So, in about 24 hours ish, we're going to see the Timberwolves play basketball for the first time since May, which is awesome. If you're new here, welcome to Timberwolves Today. I am Tyrus, your host. We're going to dive right into it. Guys, we have a preseason game to talk about. So, let's take a look at what we're dealing with here because I want to win every game, even if it's a preseason game. And we're playing the Nuggets on October 4th. 8 p.m. late game. This is what happens when they rope us in with all the West Coast teams on Mountain Time or Western Time. We're stuck playing on their time zones, even though we're a Central Time Zone team, and it's easier for us to travel east, obviously. Um, Only injuries I'm seeing for the Timberwolves is Leonard Miller. And that's a guy who he may not even make the active roster, which we'll get to later. But I'm liking the looks of this. I mean, it's a preseason game. You don't really know who's going to play, but I did peek at the Knicks versus Pacers, the Sixers tonight, and they played a lot of their starters. A good chunk of those minutes, like 17 to 20 minutes for a lot of the guys. Now they didn't have great games, but it's just getting comfortable back out there while you playing for the first time since the summer for most of these guys. Maybe a few of them played in kind of the Euroball stuff, but they just got to get comfortable out there. We got to see what we've got with a couple of the guys. I want to go out and I want to lay waste to the Nuggets, who are in a reset. They got a new head coach. They've gotten rid of Michael Porter Jr. They've gotten Cam Johnson, who doesn't scare me. I'm going to eat my words tomorrow, Saturday, when this is posted, but he doesn't scare me, Like, I'm not scared of Cam Johnson the way I was scared of Michael Never Swing the Rock Porter Jr., who's gone on an absolute tirade this summer in the media. Crazy, crazy stuff he's been saying. Apparently, this game is streaming on Altitude Sports or the NBA League Pass. Yeah, that's fun, NBA. That's a good way to get everyone ready for the season. Let's stream the game on something called Altitude Sports or your League Pass. We all know everyone's going to be watching the game. I won't say it on here, of course, but I'm excited for the game. I'm excited to see basketball be played by the Timberwolves. Let me know what you guys are thinking about this game. Obviously, we don't need to win it, but we do. Every game matters. It just builds a culture of winning, and if you go into these games half-assed, then you're going to go into a normal game half-assed. We swept the Nuggets in regular season play last year, 4-0. Of course we did. Why wouldn't we? But I want to keep that up. I don't want them to ever feel what it's like to win against us. Unless it's the postseason. They do sneak a couple out there. That's fine. But I want to sweep them even in the playoffs, It's fine if you lose those, but I still want to beat them. Moving on to the current roster. Like I was saying, Leonard Miller is the only guy who's actually injured on the roster right now. But if we take a peek at the training camp roster, here is what it's looking like. No specific order. Timberwolves didn't even post these. I guess it's last name alphabetical. I would have gone by numbers because this just reads like an absolute disaster. No order other than alphabetical here then. Jean Berenger, Jules Bernard, Jalen Clark, Mike Conley, Rob Dillingham, Dante DiVincenzo, Anthony Edwards, Enrique Freeman, who's on a two-way, Rudy Gobert, Bones Highland, Joe Ingles, Alonze Johnson, Johnny Juzang, Jaden McDaniels, Leonard Miller, Tristan Newton, who's a two-way, Zion Poland, Julius Randle, Naz Reid, Terrence Shannon Jr., and Rocco Zakarski. I'm liking the sound of pretty much everything on this list. I'll be 100% honest. Even our two-way guys are guys who feel like they could be end-of-the-bench players for once, and not someone who's kind of like back and forth all the time. Like what we've been doing to Leonard Miller and Josh Minot and Luka Garza there for a little bit. Like, it was just wrong. Like, we just kept sending them down to Iowa, and they would crush like 50-point games, bring them right back up. The guys who were on those two ways feel like guys who could actually play. It's crazy. Now, obviously, we know you could only have 15 guys to the active roster, and I'm no mathematician, but that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 guys who are on full contracts, not two ways. So, from what we can assume, Berenger's safe. It's okay. So, here's the guys that I don't think will be safe if we're taking a look at the roster: Jules Bernard, Alonze Johnson, Zion Poland, and Leonard Miller, to be 100% honest. Those are the ones that I would be concerned either getting cut or put it on a two-way. Everyone else, as long as they're doing their job at the end of the day, there's no reason for them not to make the roster. Bones Highland is one who could get cut if at the end of the day we're like, I think we're good with what we have at guard, and it's just not worth keeping him around, even though we did just extend him. I could see him getting cut just so he has the opportunity to sign somewhere that he might actually get some playing time. Um, or we keep him around and trade him for when someone gets hurt and whatever, and he's depth on someone else's team and we get some cash back. That's typically how those deals go. But like I'm saying, this roster is tough. Like the guys who are going to get cut are going to be end of the bench guys, role players somewhere else, maybe not on a good team, but they deserve a spot somewhere else. As far as I'm aware, I'm not familiar with a couple of them, like Alonze Johnson, but he's 6'10 and he can do it all, and everyone on Instagram is loving him. It's crazy. But it's also, let me just say, it's very telling when a team wants to retire a jersey number of a former player because I don't see 32 on here, which that's kind of interesting. I don't see anyone wearing 32 again. Now we've seen a couple guys wear 22 since Wiggins has left, and that's been weird. But I don't think anyone's going to wear 32 ever again that isn't named Karl Anthony Towns. Um, even what number did Kevin? No, yeah, no, never mind. I was talking crazy there for a second. Yeah, just interesting to me at the very least that Cat's number is probably going to get retired at the end of his career. But I like this roster. A lot of people are saying Rudy's got to go. Rudy's got to go. Rudy does not have to go. Let me tell you, I don't know if you guys have seen Bald Rudy, but Bald Rudy is going to be a problem. Going to be. He's got the full nice beard that he's always had, but I don't know if he just saw the hairline go from here to here this summer, and he was like, well, zero everywhere, and he just shaved it down. But he looks great. He looks awesome. He looks slim. I think that might just be the bald head. It is shiny too. It is a full cue ball up there. That is, yeah, you could definitely floss your teeth in it. It is bright. But yeah, no, bald Rudy will be better than haired Rudy. Yeah, that's a word. I am very excited to see Rudy Gobert this year. I have a lot of faith in him. Just one more time. Now, if it comes down to it, I think he will probably get traded because of the size of his contract. Someone will want him. He's still serviceable. He's still very good. And I think we might look in the mirror and be like, we're a younger team. We have options. I don't think we need them. And that just kind of is what it is. It happens on these teams. Like they get into October and whatever, and it's like, I don't think Rudy actually needs to be here. We trust Nas and Berenger to actually hold down the fort, and those are guys we feel like we can win a title with. But we did just see a team in OKC win the title with a lot of good center help. From Chet and then from Hartenstein. It wouldn't shock me if we just ran this team back and then figured it out come June after we've won the title. Kind of like we've seen teams do it before. The Celtics are just 2 years removed from winning their title, and everyone's gone except for Clark, or not Clark. What are we talking about today? Everyone's gone except for Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, which isn't a surprise. They got sold in there, and they wanted to cut the budget. The best way to do that is start with guys who are aging and bring in some younger guys on cheaper deals, and that's what they're doing for a year. Whether or not I think it's a good idea, I don't think it's a good idea, but that's what happens, and that's what I could see them doing with Rudy if this year doesn't go exactly to plan. That being said, I was watching some of the preseason stuff. Great. It was a great Twitter video, about a minute and a half of Finch just mic'd up talking to the guys at practice. Um, the best moment actually came from when um, Shannon Jr. and Baron J were out there together. Shannon kind of got the ball, gets boxed up a little, and instead of just jacking up a shot, just lobs it beautifully like that right into Baron J's hands in the hoop. And all you hear Finch, he looks at it and goes, "Good," and then turns around and kind of looks at the doesn't look at the camera, but he's just like, "Oh my, like we have something here. We have got like good work, Tim Conley, good work, scouts. Baron J is going to be a problem." He like that's exactly what we're looking for from Rudy. If he could athletically do that all the time, that's what we're looking for. And Baron J is pretty much just a younger version of that, from what I'm understanding and everything I've seen. So I 100% trust him to come in and be able to play the role the way that we need it to be. Finch, I like seeing these mic'd up moments from him too, because it gives a little bit more humanity to him for a guy that's relatively quiet outside of getting a few fines last year. He doesn't talk to the media very often. I've only heard one full interview of him on Part of My Take, actually. Um, Shameless plug for that one. But he's a quiet guy, so to be able to strap a mic on him for a practice and he's talking to Dante, giving him tips, and Dante's talking back at him, saying like we got to be better at this, and stuff like that it's really humanizing. So I appreciate these mic'd up moments from Finch, and I'm excited to see how he coaches this year. I feel like it's do or die, in the best way possible, and let's do it. Let's win the whole thing. But that's all I've got for you guys today. Until next time, take care.